ऐसे होगा रुकते हैं अभी 5 मिनट। ऐसे में इंटरेस्ट होता है पहले कोई भी प्रोग्राम है फर्स्ट इज कैन बी अप्लाई कैन बी हमारा कंप्लीट है ओ या पता चल ठीक है काम तो बेटर है did you get that yeah, it was very tough, but I guess there was a time constraint, and in the initial question it was like it was sequential, but you have to submit every answer. It's not like it gets auto submitted. First two answers, panic, they went like that. I didn't know that I had to submit, and then I realized it's answered and then submitted. And otherwise, the questions were easy. The questions were tough. But the thing is, there was this time factor कि 1 marks for your speed and 1 marks for your accuracy. वही सब कैसे कैसे वो बगल में बैठा के हो सकता था क्योंकि उसमें प्रॉक्टरिंग भी थी फ्लिपकार्ट वाला इसीलिए हमारे में से किसी का नहीं हुआ पर इसमें टाइम कंपनीज नॉट इवन प्रॉक्टर दैट ऐसे दे वर प्रॉक्टर टैब चेंज नहीं करते वो मेटल प्रॉक्टर जैसे मेटल को टैब चेंज नहीं कर सकते विल गेट can't do anything and camera was also very flexible na tab switch and you can't even copy paste your code. Don't you remember in metal that we used to do that? You can't put it maybe tab change will be a big problem. Because he was sharing the screen. I don't think so. We had to, but there was they asked for permission. Like they asked for permission and it was written that they can catch you on the tab. But like a lot of coding on like control me isn't allowed to be used. Like you have to type it. हाँ ये हो सकता है बट ऐसा तो कुछ था ही नहीं उसमें करके हाँ टाइप है तो कंप्लीटली बट तुम डैमेज भी कर सकते एक्चुअली तो कुछ विंडो पे एग्जिट भी वो तो पूरे पेज पे था इससे भी couldn't just exit the whole page if you exited the whole page तुम्हारा पैसा लग जाता you had to save कि मतलब उसमें तो सेम था ना इनका ये सही था फ्लिपकार्ट वाला इसमें सही बच्चे मतलब कम से कम और बेटर निकलते हमने इसमें प्रॉक्टरिंग थी तो कोई तुम्हारे बगल में बैठ के तो नहीं करा सकता करा तो सकता था I told her like 5-10 minutes बाद मेरे डेढ़ क्वेश्चन हुआ तो वो भी कैसे तो कैसे पता नहीं तीनों कैसे करते अरे यू हैव टू like copy वो every time this fucking man said मार के like something क्या है
she's starting.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, great. I'll just present. You can see it, right?
Yeah, yeah, this is.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm going to first give you like a broad overview of the program in case you have no idea what it is about. So the ISB YLP is basically a deferred admit program to the Indian School of Business's actual MBA program, their ISB PGP 1 year MBA program. And how it works is that you get an admit right now when you're in college, and then after 20 months of work ex, you can join, and then a year later you get your MBA degree.
1 second. Now the audio is a little clear.
Oh,
1 second.
wait, I think I'll switch off my fan.
She can switch off the.
Is this better?
Should probably switch off. 1 second now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will try now.
Is this good now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, you apply in your pre-final or final year. So if you're a dualite, you can apply in your fourth or fifth year, and if you're a single degree, you can apply in your third or fourth year. And I think the deadline this time is 26th March, so you have about 5 days, which is honestly enough for stage one. The next step is you gain, once you're expected, you get 20 months of work ex. During that 20 months of work ex, you get to attend 3 learning weekends, and there's a tri-uni contingent that they have. So those learning weekends happen at their campus. It could be the Hyderabad campus or the Mohali campus, and there you get to interact with your batchmates, you get to meet your future profs, all of that. And the tri-uni contingent is basically they have this contingent with NUS Singapore and the Goa University, where you get to visit these universities for 1 week each during these 20 months, and you get to interact with people there and learn, and the same thing. And then once you're done with these 20 months and you have the work ex, then you just get to join the next PGP batch. So the application process is essentially 3 stages. The first stage is the online form. You have to fill your academic details, your awards, the essay, and the application fee, which is I think around 3K. And then if you get in, and the deadline for that is 26th March this time. And if you get in, then you have stage two where you have to submit a GMAT or GRE score, and the deadline for that is 31st August. So you have about like 3-4 months to give your GMAT or GRE. And then there's one more essay, and there's one evaluation, which is basically a letter of recommendation that you get from a prof. The third stage is your interview, and the fourth stage is, of course, the offer letter. So right now, since we're talking about stage one, I'll essentially break down stage one for you. So in stage one, you have like your basic details, your name, contact information, address, all of that. Then you have the awards, extracurriculars, and hobbies part. So awards, may you can just talk about like if you've had any competition wins, you've won some case competition, some hackathon, something in school probably, you talk about that. Extracurriculars, may I talked about my PORs. You can talk about any other impactful club activities you had. You did something at dance club or any of those things. That obviously will come into extracurriculars. And then hobbies are like things that you just like to do. They don't want you to give any proof of like those hobbies. That for extracurriculars you'll say, yeah, I love to dance, I joined the dance club. Hobbies can just be like, I like to read or I like to cook or something like that. But don't lie over here, because I was asked about my hobbies in my interview, and I actually, when I was filling my application in round one, I was learning to play the ukulele. So I said that, yeah, I like playing the ukulele, and then I lost it. So I had no idea how to play it when I actually gave my interview. So I told them that it was something I was doing at that time, but I have no idea how to actually do it. So yeah, don't lie about your hobbies. They might just ask you. Then it's your GPA and every semester's GPA essentially. And then the most important part, which takes up the most of your time, which is the essay. So I'm going to talk much more about the essay to help you understand how to do it. A lot of people might think that the deadline is so close, I haven't even started, I can't do it. Honestly, I started writing my essay like at 4 p.m. on the deadline day. I was down with COVID and I couldn't do it. So it doesn't take so much time. It's a 300 word essay. At the max, it'll take you like 2 days to do it. So I would really recommend you to apply without like worrying about, oh, I don't have too much time. You have enough time. You can write a good essay. It's not so time taking. This is the prompt that they have this year. Last year was a different prompt, but this prompt is basically talking about your passion, your goal, and whether it's in academics or extracurriculars, and what have you done about it. It's a very result oriented essay, and it also talks about what are you going to do in the future to achieve that goal. So, of course, it's a 300-word essay. The most important part is you keep it short, you keep it sweet, you keep it succinct. You can't really drag on there. You have to be very, very specific about anything that you're talking about. The other thing is that I feel like this prompt could be misleading because I have been talking to a few people who were very clueless about this prompt. And so this person who texted me, he was really passionate about filmmaking. So he wanted to make this entire essay about filmmaking, but when I asked him, what are you going to do after MBA, it was product management. So think of your MBA application as a sales pitch. You're trying to sell yourself, and the school gains absolutely nothing by knowing that you're like a passionate filmmaker when you want to get into product management in the end. So try to relate whatever you're passionate about to your career goals. I'm not saying make it like a boring essay where you're like, I want to be a consultant, so my passion is consulting. That's obviously not true. But try to relate it to something. Say something like, yeah, I'm really passionate about solving problems. And that's why I worked in this club and I worked here and I worked in whatever. I've been doing this to solve problems and this and that. And that's why after my MBA, I want to be a consultant and solve real life problems, talk about your internships, all of those things. Like the most important thing is to relate your career goals to whatever you're passionate about. Don't make it completely unrelated, but also don't make it sound like a blatant lie where you just say, yeah, my passion is my career. Nobody's going to buy that. Yeah, don't info dump. It's a 300-word essay, and as engineers, we're not creative when we write essays. We tend to really just dump information. Don't do that. Try to be creative. Try to have like a catchy line over there that they remember you with, and like just make sure that you catch their attention. They're going to be reading way too many essays, and it's important to hold their attention. Very important, please get your drafts reviewed, because when we write an essay, we already know what we're trying to say. And so we view our essays with that bias. So we know what we're trying to say and we're going to read it like that. But that doesn't tell you if it's actually coming across or not. So it's very, very important to get it reviewed by people who have no idea what you're trying to say. Get their feedback, try to understand what they took away from your essay. And a lot, so I struggled a lot with getting my essay under 300 words. I could not edit it out. So I went to my friends and I told them that I need to cut like 50 words from it. What do you want? What would you cut? And I got a lot of feedback from people, and then I was able to get a 300-word essay. So it's always, always good to get feedback from people, because that will give you an idea of how the adcom will also see that essay when they're reading it for the first time. When you're writing the initial draft, I think it's always better to go above the word limit. Don't write your essay with the mind of, I want to write a 300-word essay, because then it just gets boring and it drags along. Write whatever flows, write a free flowing long document, whatever you want to write, and then go around editing it. When you read it, you'll automatically find things which are redundant. You'll automatically find things which you're like, okay, maybe that's not too important, and that will make your job much easier. Don't just immediately start with the goal of writing a 300-word essay. And the last thing is, it's not very important, but if you can, try showing examples outside college too. Because if it's like something you're passionate about, something that's an interest and goal, it shows a lot more commitment if you've done something outside of college too about it. So again, I'm saying that, don't just try to force examples, try to find a pattern in everything you've done. So that filmmaking guy I was telling you about, what I suggested to him was that think of your filmmaking as you trying to always think, like you trying to have an interest in knowing people's journeys, knowing how they view the world, knowing, showcasing that, right? Having a lot of empathy for people. And that's how you relate it to product management, where you're like, I want to be a product manager because I I have a lot of user empathy and I care a lot about how people view the world, and that's why I want to change how they view products. I want to make products more empathetic, something like that. So you can always relate these things. You can always find the common ground. Yeah, more on the essay. This is a sample structure that I found online. Don't use it, but if you're absolutely struggling with it, then you can always refer to it. So the introduction is, of course, I mean, the general flow should be something like that, where you first introduce whatever your passion or area of interest is. Then you talk about whatever you've done. If you joined some club, you joined some organization, you did some internship, it could be anything. You could say, I'm a data freak. I love data. I did a data science internship. I did a data analytics internship, something like that. Your future plans. What do you plan to do in the future when you graduate from college, when you do your MBA, and whatever steps you'll take to achieve the plans. That's a raw outline. You can follow it or you can make your own structure. That's okay. I found this really cool example online. The first one, organizing college fest. So this they had written this example on, if you want to organize, that your passion is to organize, like you enjoy organizing college fest. Obviously, your passion can't be organizing college fest. And so then they were like, you can relate that to people management. You can talk about how organizing and planning and people management, etc., really interests you and you like doing that. And when you go forward, you want to work with people management, you want to work on project management, you want to work as a manager, all those things. So you can see how, like, this is a completely unrelated example, but you have to find transferable skills and you have to make sure that they somehow relate to what you really want to do. The other thing is, don't lie through your teeth, because the if you get into stage one, the stage two essay is completely career based. The stage two essay is something about what is the ideal career that you always wanted to pursue. So they take you back in history. They're like, all what did you always want to pursue? So you can't say over here that I love problem solving and I want to be a consultant, and then there in that, if you get in that essay, you're like, I always wanted to be a pilot or something like that. So don't lie, be honest, because otherwise you're going to get caught. If not in stage two, then in the interview, they're going to make sure they catch you. Yeah, the other thing is, it's very, very important to be specific when you're writing about these things, your future plans, what you've done, especially your future plans. Even if you have no idea right now, even if you're just spitballing, it's okay to spitball. It's okay if it changes in the future. Nobody is going to hold you accountable 2 years later in your MBA. This is what you wrote in the essay, and this is not what you're doing. Nobody cares. Just be as specific as you can so that you show them that you have a lot of clarity of thought. And the last thing, obviously, is don't worry too much about, like, writing the perfect essay or making the perfect application. It doesn't exist. You just try to be as authentic as you can. Try to be as much as you can, as much as of yourself as you can, and don't try to, like, pretend to be someone else, because you're going to get caught and then that's just going to ruin everything. And don't overthink it so much, right? Don't overthink it so much. Don't make it a perfect essay, don't make it a perfect application. and you're still a college student, and they know that. That's why this program exists. They don't expect you to be a working professional with like full knowledge of what you want to do and what career you'll do and how you want to do it. They just want to know if you have some clarity about your goals and how you'll do it, and what are you going to do with the MBA? Why do you want it? Do you just want it for the money, or is there something else? You just have to show them that you have a broad clarity of goals, and that's about it. That's mostly what they care about. So yeah, that's it from me. If you guys have any questions. Oh yeah, don't raise your hand, just unmute it.
Yeah, I'm Rashmi. I wanted to ask, like, in like study companies, like, uh, how many years of like, I'm just in first year,
Yeah.
so so I can not include that much portion that I have done in my college. So what should be my points to be written in that essay? My exam
I
is smooth.
You're in your first year right now.
Yes.
So you can only apply when you're in your pre-final and final year.
Okay.
Yeah, this application is for people who are in their pre-final and final year. So you can apply when you're in your third year or fourth year if you're single degree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an amazing session. By the way, what are the like other ways we could get into ISB? Like if like other than
There's
working?
like an early career option they have where if you have less than 24 months of work ex, you can apply. Because otherwise, to the direct route, they need you to have, I think, minimum 24 months. So the early career option is also like that. If you've just gotten out of college or something like that and you want to apply, you can do that. That's also a deferred option. You get 24 months of work ex and then you join. But you get the admit when you're still working. And the other route is just the normal MBA route, but you need minimum 24 months of work ex to apply for that. Yeah.
And is like your CGPA very important in the selection criteria?
I mean, I honestly don't know how important it is, but I don't like. I met a couple of people who got in Delhi recently, and I don't think CGPA they had like a crazy high CGPA. I feel like the essays and the interview is very important because they kind of refer back to your essays also after you've given your interview. So it's very important to have like a coherent thought and a good written essay. That's what I feel. I honestly don't know too much about it. And your GRE GMAT also. That I think they care more about than your GPA. Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you all have any other questions, you can even put it in the chat box. Else we can like close the meet in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We can like wait 5 minutes, I guess. Uske baad.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I think Kopal, that's it. Thank you so much for
Okay.
sharing your
Thank
experience.
you.
Really nice.
Bye. See you guys.